Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
I'm an idiot. I missed the part. That is my fault. What is up, guys? This is Brett Bovin. Welcome to the motherfucking electronic campfire. We're not politically correct on this show. Hunting and brotherhood go hand in hand together, in my opinion. So there's hazing on the show. Tonight we have Squatch. Johnny and Dave aren't here tonight, so we're kind of happy about that. Not kind of. We are extremely happy about that. No, I'm just kidding. And our guest tonight is Doug. So we'll invite you all along to haze along with us as well. It's part of the show. Sundays and Tuesdays, we do a live show every Sunday and Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a saying on the show: put your core in the slot machine. Strongly believe hunting is a dying sport. It's a dying lifestyle. So we ask everybody out there just to help share the show, help us grow the show. Everyone out there that's been doing it, we love you all. Just help us continue doing that. I do also like to take a second and say thank you to all the men and women in the military. Thank you for your service and thank you for your sacrifice. We greatly appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to all the men and women and the police officers, the firefighters, the nurses, the doctors, construction workers, and corrections officers. Basically, everyone in public service. I want to say thank you for your service as well. Now, today is Sunday, May 18th, 2025, episode 152. And tonight we're going to sit back and relax and listen to an amazing story that Doug's going to share about the ghost buck. I read this article online. And I was like, oh, I got to have this guy on the show and share his story on it. Now, 10 ring news here. Do not forget, if you want the Whitetail Advantage calendar for our live shows on your own calendar, send in your email to us and we can set it up to where our calendar will show up on your calendar so you can see what's going on with the show and when we don't have a show and who's going to be on future guests and stuff like that. With that also being said, we do not have any shows lined up next week. So if you only listen to the show on the audio version, there won't be an episode released next Monday or Wednesday because with it being Memorial Weekend, we're taking time to spend with our friends and family and thanking everyone for their service in the military. And so there will be no live show on Sunday or Tuesday. This is going to be our last week. We won't be back for another 2 weeks. And that is it. So with that being said, I ask you all to pull up a chair, gather around the electronic campfire, and let's talk with Doug. Squatch, how's it going, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. At least at least I have one good friend in you, Squatch. The other two are just fucking bastards.
You know, when the tough gets going, you know who you can count on.
I can always count on my brother Squatch right there. That's for sure.
I think it's just because I don't have a life. So, you know.
If you saw my calendar, I was texting the group chat today.
Yeah.
My calendar is literally filled from 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. I get like 1 hour a night where it's just myself. And I like to take that moment sometimes and just sit in the bathtub and watch funny bloopers and just normalize the heroes I watch in football and stuff like that. Yeah, I just have fun. Doug.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Show, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh man, I'm excited to learn more about your story with this ghost buck. I read it online through Outdoor Life. That's the website.
Yeah.
Yep, Outdoor Life. That's where I read it, and I was like, "Yep, I got it." Instantly. When I messaged you, I got done reading that within like 5 seconds. It was hard to find you for a second, but I'm like, "Oh, please let me find them." And I found you. I was like, "Yes." Now let's hope he answers.
Well, you know what's not to interrupt. What's pretty cool is when I was a kid growing up, my grandfather and my dad had a buck called the Phantom buck, the old Phantom. So having somebody on the show that's got a kind of a similar story about having a ghost buck, hits home. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we had a big old 10-pointer we used to call the Phantom. So
Yeah, I never knew they called this buck the ghost buck until I got it scored. And the guy's like, "Yeah, like this called the ghost." I'm like, "Well, why?" And like, "Well, people have him on camera. Like, back when cameras were legal still. Like they'd have him on camera, and then he'd be gone. And then they'd have him in their sights. They'd miss, or he'd just disappear behind a tree and never be seen again."
Wow. Yeah, I had a deer on my property that I called the ghost buck mainly because I saw him once out in the field, and he was just a monster of a deer. But never saw a photo of him, and I never saw him again that year. I don't think I've ever saw him again. And he was just a beautiful, beautiful 9-pointer. And he wasn't like tall on the tine length, but he just had mass and spread like a motherfucker. And I was like, oh, I think I just jizzed in my pants a little bit when I saw him. I'm not gonna lie. Well, Doug, give a little background about yourself first before we get into your story here.
All right, so I'm originally from upstate New York, up in Boonville, and then I joined the Army and I've been stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas for the last about 5 years.
So you were in the Army?
Yeah. I'm in the process of getting out.
Oh, okay. Dave and Johnny were in the Army as well. And Squatch was Dave's both sons in the Marines or just one of his sons?
Yeah, I believe both of his sons.
That's what I believe. Both of his sons. I was drawing a blank there. Well, Doug, thank you for your service, though.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Were you a police officer in the Army, or what did you do?
I'm a Cav Scout.
A Cab Scout? What's that?
Yeah, it's basically like reconnaissance. Like what we would do is we'd go, like, say we're in a war right now, we'd go past the line, like the enemy's line, and like gather information and send it back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like actually kind of fun. I like that sneaky snipe type shit. Like, just like, ooh, I get to sneak in there and collect all this intel shit. To me, I think that's a lot of fun.
It's almost like Ghost Recon, man. He's going in behind the lines, see what else going on.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, Doug, let's start off. What happened? What's this ghost buck? The people that might not know about it.
So I first saw him 4 years ago on camera. I only had like a blurry picture of him just passing by the trail camera, like probably about a mile from where I ended up shooting him last year. So I saw him, I'm like, Jesus. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start calling you Jesus. Seemed good. Then I hunted him hard that year, and I forgot about him. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And this year came through, can't have trail cameras anymore. Then I wasn't gonna hunt that morning. Luckily, the wife's like, hey, you better go. So I ended up sitting there. I wasn't gonna sit in the spot. I was gonna sit in early in the season. I missed a big buck on the side of the hill, got a couple 100 yards away. So I was gonna sit there. I'm like, no, I'll just sit where my tree stand is. I'm like, no, I'm gonna move down about 50 yards and sit in the fallen tree. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, fuck, my binos are in the truck. I'm like, I got a scope on the rifle. I'm fine. So I hear this crunching. I just look up and I just see this brown thing moving across coming from the tank trail into the hardwoods. I'm like, oh, just a little doe. So I didn't think nothing of it. Just sat back down and started relaxing again. And I saw a rack. I'm like, oh shit. I thought there's been 3 or 4 8-points running through there that I've been watching all season. So I'm like, you're gonna get shot. It's too late in the season to be picky right now. So I pull the rifle up and I'm like, you're not no 8-point. And then I didn't have a clean shot. So then he started moving away across in front of me. So I had to kind of spin like this way to shoot him. And I just touched off the rifle and I watched him hunch. He ran like 15 yards and just dropped, got up, ran a few more steps and just dropped again. And that was it. I just sat there shaking for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was your reaction when you realized this was the buck that everyone has been kind of looking for and now you have him pretty much right in your sights.
So I didn't realize it at first. Like, I knew he was a big buck, but I didn't know it was that buck until I got up there and laid hands on him.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So like, I just thought he was a nice, like, 12 point, maybe a 14. And I'm getting up to him. I just dropped, sat down next to him. Like, you gotta be shitting me. I started counting. I'm like, I can't count this high. I gotta take my boots off, my socks off, start counting on my toes. It was just insane. And I figured it out. I'm like, this is fucking Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled my phone out, took some pictures. I'm like, I gotta call the wife. I gotta call my buddy. I'm like, shit, no service. So I'm like, I don't want to leave you, but I left him anyways. I went out, got my truck, drove to the top of the hill, and called the wife. I just shot a buck. I need to come out here, help me drag him. So is he big? I'm like, a little bit big, not too big. And I called my other buddy. I'm like, yo, Tuttle. He's like, what's up? I'm like, I just killed the buck. I need you out here. He's like, all right. And he dropped what he was doing, drove it's like 30, 40 minutes out to the spot we hunt. He came right out and helped me drag it out.
Nice.
Wow. So
Yeah.
So how did this nickname Ghost Buck come about with this deer?
So that came later on in the night. I called the Brad Forbes. He works on post. He's retired, I believe, and he's a official scorer for Buckmasters. So I called him up like, hey man, can you score this buck for me tonight after work? He's like, yeah, fine, cool. I brought it over to him. He's like, do you know what this buck's name is? I'm like, Big Jesus. He's like, no, they call it the Ghost. I'm like, why? And that's when he told me that there's 2 hunters within 2 weeks prior to me shooting him. That one guy missed him completely. That was back when it was Bo then. I never saw him. And so he ended up missing him. He was like 3/4 of the way to the drawback, and his hand hit the release on his bow and sailed the arrow. So then I noticed on his right main beam, there's a chunk missing, probably like that much. I'm like, that's weird. Come to find out, about a week before I shot him, some guy shot at him and hit him in the main beam with his arrow and broadhead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They hit him where?
Right in the main beam.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
With the arrow?
Right. Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that guy actually reached out to me and told me about it. I'm like, oh, no shit. I'm like, I kind of want that arrow. I want that broadhead. And he's like, just let me hold the deer when he's done. I'm like, too easy.
Let me see if I can get this up here. Share this screen right here.
Oh, what caliber rifle did you shoot him with, or was it a shotgun?
I was using my 300 Win Mag.
Nice. Wow.
So reading this article, this was not one of your trail camera photos. This was somebody else's trail cam photo.
Yep, that's actually a photo that Brad Forbes gave me. The guy who scored
that's
it.
nice.
I think that was back in 21, 22. That's when he was at his peak.
It looks like this photo was taken July 1st, 2022.
Yeah. He estimated his peak like 21, 22 season. And when they found his sheds, they were saying he's about 230, 240.
Wow.
And here is a close up.
Wow.
I'm not too good at the camera.
No, jeez. How many points were legal on this deer?
21.
21 points on this.
Yeah,
and
you can actually see right there. That's where the chunk
this
is
right here?
main beam. Yep.
Yeah, I see it. Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say, was that where he got hit? Man.
Yep.
And what was the spread on this? Because he doesn't look like he's passed out his ears at all.
No, he wasn't very wide at all. The spread was, I actually wrote that down, 12 and 5/8.
Mm-hmm.
But the greatest spread was 19 and 3/8.
Wow.
I don't know how the scoring works. I'm from upstate New York. I'm happy with 130-inch 8.
Oh yeah.
So this thing just blew my mind. It's the first thing I've ever had scored.
He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of palmation. He's got non-typical stuff. I mean, he's just you know what? When it comes to something like that, I just go, it's a freak. I call them bucks freaks, man. They're freaks.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I shoot every one of them I could freaking find, man. When they come through, they got something funky. I got one downstairs. He's a big mainframe, looks like an 8 on one side, but then he just shoots up. He's got like 2 points that come off. He was a big old freak, and I was trying to get his dad, but his dad finally just died of old age.
Yeah.
Yep, they found him laying dead out in one of the orchards, and
that's the worst.
it hurt. It hurt because I was real close to getting him, but it's okay. You know what? Things happen and whatever. But that's a nice buck, man. That's cool when they're freaks like that. I like deer. I'd shoot one of those deer over 30, just normal ones. That's
Oh,
cool,
absolutely.
you know.
I have a deer on the property from last year. I think it was both that were palmated or just one side.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I know one distinctly. It was his left main beam. Everything was palmated, and like the tines themselves were just maybe like an inch, just based off the photo itself.
Yeah.
And everyone in the area agreed. Like, and this deer was probably 2.5 years old, maybe. And we're like, no one shoot this motherfucker. And we're all in agreement. Like, we just want to see the potential about what this deer could get to. Hopefully he stays in the area and everything that all the neighbors are trying to do to make sure to put out good feed and stuff like that, to make sure he gets up of age and gets the proper nutrition stuff. But we all just want to see what the potential this deer gets. And obviously whoever gets this deer is going to be excited for what he turns out to be. Hopefully he does. I wish I had a photo with him, but I don't have it somewhere on my phone right now. I'll share it next episode. But no, that's a beautiful deer. And I was reading this article, and it says Forbes estimated the deer to be around 7.5 years of age and gave it a BTR score of 206 and 7/8 inches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know much about scoring, but I got a lot of backlash on the old internet about that's not a 200-inch deer, yada yada yada. I'm like, I don't care. Shut up. That's what an official score gave me. That's what I'm going with.
I don't know anybody can say that because pictures are so hard to go by.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're absolutely standing there like looking at a deer. I've seen small deer look huge. I've seen big deer not look big. You know, and all these keyboard warriors getting on there going, hey, it's not that big. You know, it's just, come on. You know,
fucking keyboard warriors. Yeah. I to play devil's advocate here, the only thing that I can think of that for someone to say that isn't a 200-inch deer is because of its spread.
Yeah.
That would be the thing where people are like, but even that, the spread, I would just say, estimating it based off of this photo, 20 inches maybe. 18 inches just looking at this, but you look at all the character that goes along with this deer and how tall these fucking tines are on these things, G2s, and all these kickers and stickers, everything. It's like,
yeah,
I could see 200 inches just off of all that shit put together.
I mean, he was 7.5, my big guy there, and he's 21.5 inside spread with 5.5-inch bases, but he only scored 125. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but because he's short tine, but he's just wide and massive. But when we aged him, he was 7.5. The whole back part of his molars, they were ground down to nothing. That buck was old, man. He was 225 on the hoof.
Jesus.
New York deer. I'm in the Hudson Valley.
Okay.
Ulster County. I shot him with the bow in 2001. So hell of a good morning though, man. When I got him, I was happier than you know.
Reading this article, Doug, it seemed like you were going to be hunting in one area or an area that you've been hunting, and something made you change your mind to go hunt a different area.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Like, so I was going to hunt the same area, just a different part of that property.
Okay.
So I was going to hunt the west side of the mountain. I call it a mountain. It's just a big hill.
Was this public area? I'm sorry. Was this public land or private?
It's public.
Okay.
So I drove past where I ended up parking to shoot the deer. I'm like, I'm going to drive around and park at the base of the hill and walk up the corner. I'm like, no, let's just go to my tree stand. So I ended up going to my tree stand, got like 2 feet up on the stand. I'm like, nah. So I just walked 50 yards down deeper into the woods, and then kind of like the middle of it's like a valley. So it's like cedar, and then a big draw up the middle. So I just kind of sat probably like 50 yards off the middle of the draw. And I don't know. Me and my buddy found that spot last year, and we were shooting does in the late season out of it.
Okay.
So I'm just like, it's a nice little spot, kind of like tucked in, had like it's a fallen down treetop. So you got all the branches and stuff for like a stabilizer to shoot off of, for like a longer shot or whatever. And something told me to sit there. If I was in my stand, I might have gotten a shot, but I would have had to turn around almost completely backwards to get a shot.
How far was, granted, it was 2-3 years later, where this photo was taken from where you shot him? Do you know?
That photo of him in Velvet back in July, that was probably 700,000 yards away.
So he kind of stayed roughly in his home range type area for a good couple years.
Yeah. But where I had him on camera, the first time I ever saw him was about a mile to the east.
So you do you get it on camera that year you shot him or the year before?
No, because they banned trail cameras. So not this season, the season before that, Kansas public land got rid of their cameras, and then Fort Riley followed suit this past hunting season. So I had 0 trail cameras out this past year.
That's so lame.
Why can't you use trail? Is it during the hunting season or is it just in general?
So Fort Riley did it. It was, I think, August. You had to have your cameras out of there. So up until like August, you could have cameras. But I don't know if they're bringing cameras back this year for like the whole summertime, doing the same thing they did last year, or if they're just going to completely keep them banned the entire time.
I hear more and more states doing that. I can't remember which ones are on top of my head, but I've been trying to wrap my brain about why, and the only thing that I could kind of think about, Squatch, maybe is because now we're going more towards these cell cameras out there with Tacticams and Moultrie, with more cell cams, obviously, and you're getting live time action photos sent right to your phone, and you hear it all the time. Oh, there's a deer right there by my camera. I gotta go out there right now. And then they go shoot them.
Yeah,
or at least they go try to. I think that's one of the reasons why they want to try to get rid of these cell cams or just cameras in general. Do you have an opinion on that, Squatch?
Well, I think a lot of it is too, because Doug, if I heard you correctly, you said on state land and the government land that you're hunting. Now, did they ban them also on private land too, or no?
I don't know about private land. I don't have any private land to hunt, so I don't really pay attention to that part.
I think a lot of it is, when it comes to like having public lands, state land or federal lands and stuff like that, they're probably trying to keep it on a level 2 because I'm sure a lot of those go missing. People grab them, steal them. Then the agencies get complaints about, oh, my camera went missing and blah, 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 blah. So maybe they're just trying to regulate, like, look, let's just do away with the problem right away and just not have anybody put those damn things out. But I'm sure a lot of it is they're probably just trying to enforce some kind of like more of a fair chase situation. All the cameras I run are Moultrie. They're all instant time data. Let me tell you something. By the time it gets the picture taken, by the time it goes to the satellite and maybe gets to your phone in some kind of thing, there's at least 5 or 6 minutes difference from the time it actually took the picture. Because I've actually sat in a stand, watched a deer come up the path. Deer's past me, gone by. I get the notification. So if they're basing it on something like that, like, oh, they're going to go get the deer, I mean, good luck. The deer still may be in that area, but it's not that like super quick. But it's probably just, I think it's probably a thing for not having, complaints, having so many complaints. Maybe something got stolen. Guys fighting over territory. Oh, well, that's my spot. I had my camera there for 6 months. You can't go there. So it's probably just stuff like that. That's why they enforce it. That's my opinion on it, really. So,
but even then, I still think that's kind of like cheap way to think about going about it. I'd like to get like a DNR person that's behind the laws that says this is why we're doing it, just to get from their mouth themselves.
Yeah.
But like you said it perfectly, you can have a cell camera out there
Mhm.
and send it to your phone. And let's say you get it. I have Tacticam, so I get it within 2 minutes, roughly.
Yeah.
Let's say some cameras you get it within 5.
All right.
The odds of you getting from where you're at, let's say you're actually sitting in your living room and your trail camera is 300 yards away. The odds of you, because you're not just going to go out in your blue jeans or your sweatpants, whatever the fuck you're wearing, you're going to at least put your camo shit on, go out there with your stuff. And this is the tricky part. Let's say that deer miraculously is still standing in that area. You have to sneak in and fucking do it. Even if you have a gun with you,
Yeah.
odds of you shooting that deer just from that photo that got to you, in my opinion, is 1% or less.
Yeah, I agree too. I did have it work in that situation with coyotes because I had a bait pile out and I had the camera set up by the bait pile. Got the notification the coyotes are out in the field. I was able to drive up, get out of the truck, sneak up, and they busted me at the last second when I was almost to the blind where they were. But I didn't throw camo on. I was in my blue jeans. I was in a plaid shirt, and I was sitting on my couch, and I grabbed my 204 and I beat feet right up the road to where I hunt. So I was able to get on them that quick. But like you said, in deer hunting in a situation, I mean, not a lot of people can just go out in their backyard deer hunting. A lot of people have to drive 45 minutes an hour to get to where they're hunting.
Yeah.
But what the hell is it hurting? And, I mean, I have put cameras up on state land here in New York. We got a lot of DEP land that's New York City drinking water, protected land around the reservoirs and stuff. And I have set cameras up there and I've had, okay success with it. But the only thing, I was still running an SD card camera. I had put it up higher on the tree. And I went back after about 2 weeks. And my son and I, we got to the camera and it was on, it was working. Pulled the SD card out, put it in my reader. There wasn't a damn picture on it. And I'm like, well, that sucks. And he's like, oh, you kidding me? For like 2 weeks, you didn't get any on the camera? I'm like, no freaking way, So what ended up happening was we went back up. We had been out of there for a little while in that spot. We go back up and we go in the dark. We hunt further back from where that spot is. On the way back out, he's looking. He's like, what the hell is that? I'm like, what? He goes, I think that's a ladder down there. I'm like, a ladder? He's like, right where you had your camera. I'm like, no way. He goes, yeah, come on, let's go look. So we walk down there. Somebody had because this is like 25 minutes riding in on a side-by-side up this log road where we go. Somebody had drug a freaking regular damn aluminum ladder up there, had another ladder like strapped to a tree and then like some makeshift shitty platform up there in the tree where I had the camera. I'm like, you know what? I think I know what happened. He's like, what? And there was blood. There was blood and hair. So they shot something out of that spot. And I was like, this son of a bitch has read my card and put it back in the camera. And I said, that's why they set that tree stand up. It must have been a good buck coming through there. And he probably killed it. So I was like, well, we ain't doing that shit no more. He's like, yeah, no, we didn't, but it's pretty far back where we go. But I mean, you're not the only one. People get back there and stuff. But hey, good for that guy. I'm glad he got a buck. I'm not upset or anything. State land, good for you. But I don't know. I'd really like to get a DNR person on here too and say, what's the deal? And that whole stuff with the drones too. When you got an animal down, I get it. Somebody can abuse it and put really strict policies on it if they abuse it and be done with it. There's no reason why you can't use a drone to go get a wounded animal. I don't want that animal to suffer and die off somewhere and you lose your animal. I mean, it's just stupid.
Well, some people out there are saying using cell cams, and let's just stick to drones with this point of it, that it's taken away the woodsmanship part of it all. That's one thing that I've been hearing lately.
Yeah.
Doug, I want your opinion on the cell cameras and these drones, but Dave sent in this comment here, and these are the states that can't use cell cams: Arizona, Delaware, Kansas, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, Utah, and Alaska on public lands. I'm assuming that's during the hunting season, obviously. But that many, I knew there was states out there. I just couldn't remember which one they were. And I thought Idaho was on there, would have been on there too.
I thought they were too.
I could have swore either they had it and they removed it, or they're getting ready to. Dave, if you're out there and you're able to look that up, I could have swore Idaho was on that list. I'm a little surprised it's not.
Here's a little fun fact right here, because I Googled it because I was just curious about what the actual answer was, if I could find it. So they said in Kansas, the theft of cameras, too many cameras being in the same areas, disturbances to wildlife, privacy issues, and other problems coming from the use and overuse of trail cameras. That's right from Stuckley, who said multiple issues were brought forward on the days leading up to the ban in 2023. That's out of Kansas.
So basically, people stealing other people's cameras.
That's what I said. It's theft. It's too many cameras being in the same areas. So you're not allowing, Joe Blow to walk in there. Hey, that's my spot. I've had my camera there for 6 months. State land, kick rocks, bud. So,
okay, I can get behind that in a sense. I could get behind that.
That's what it is. It's causing, people are setting up a hunting boundary because they had their, and it's just like I said, I had a camera there. The guy came in, read my camera. Well, guess what? I'm on state land. It's fair game, bro. If the guy wants to read my camera, he can read my camera. If I put a tree stand, but here's the deal. I was going to get in his effing stand if it was safe, because it wasn't really safe. And I was going to shoot a deer out of that stand too, because it was already there. And if he gave me any shit, I would have just squatched his ass. But, I'm just telling you, it's you're near state land. You got to remember, it's public land. It's not private land. It's a whole different thing. And that's what it is. It just causes too many issues, I think, on state land, and that's why they got rid of it. Too many complaints, Oh, this guy said I can't go in this acre of woods because he's had his cameras there all season, and
sucks. Public land.
Yeah.
It's just
pound sand, you bitch.
Yeah.
Basically, whoever gets there first, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's
and I gotta honestly say, especially for like where we go. I mean, you'll be getting ready, putting your stuff on. I got the wheelers there warming up, so we can drive up the trail. And guys will come in, and they got their trucks, maybe they're driving up into. And it's always, hey, fellas, what's going on? How's it been? You've been seeing stuff? Yeah, a couple here and there. Where are you guys headed? All right, cool. We're going to be up on that other face. It's like, hey, if you knock one down, you need some help. I got the wheeler. I'll help you drag it out. I mean, it's state land. You can't freaking go crazy. If you see somebody, whistle, give a wave, go the other way, man. It's not like, it's like Family Feud up there or something. You just do your thing and move on. There's plenty of land. So,
Doug, what's your opinion on the drones?
So I've never really been around drones at all. Like, I definitely can see people use them to abuse it. Like, hey, there's a deer on the outside of this hedgerow. Let's go get him. But in an aspect of like recovery, I feel like it'd be beneficial.
Yeah.
Because I shot a buck last year. It ran across the road in the impact area. It goes in the impact area. You can't go get it. That's where like tank rounds and mortar rounds all impact. So like you're lost. I shot a buck earlier last season that did the same thing. Went into the impact area. I called the game wardens up. Yo, what's going on? Put a good shot on him. He's like, that sucks. He's coyote bait now. I'm like, well, shit. But I helped a guy earlier in the season. Shot I don't know if it was a buck or a doe. I didn't pay that much attention to it because it wasn't mine. But I spent probably 4 hours helping this guy track this deer. We couldn't find it. But I feel like it was in a CRP field.
Yep.
So it was all like waist high grass and all that other bullshit. I feel like a drone would have been really beneficial to help that whole aspect out.
Yeah. And fucking Michael, you asked the question within minutes. Don't answer yet, but he's going to I want to ask you here, Doug, if you've tried possum. Don't answer yet. I know the fucking answer you look like you're going to say, but he said he has to leave in a second.
No, I've never had possum, but I almost shot one last weekend. That I was turkey hunting and had one attack my boot. Scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what was going on. I just about shot him point blank with a 3-inch mag.
Nice.
So one of my buddies that I hunt on the property with, they shot a deer. They couldn't find it. So he said, hey, are you able to come track? And I said, yeah, but I won't be there for 30, 35 minutes. And I said, okay, that's okay. We want to take a break anyways. We think we might be jumping them. So I said, all right, give me some time. It was rainy, snowy mix. I said, give me about 40 minutes. I'll be there. And so me and my dad went out there to go help track. And my dad, we just got him the year before like those thermal, you can see the heat sensor one. And then there's the other version of the heat signal. But anyways, we took that out there and we're scanning the last area that they were looking at. And I asked him, like, well, where have you gone? Where's the deer gone? And stuff like that. And basically everything was going into this giant hill bottom of the property. And I said, I guarantee you he's either down there, bedded, or just sitting there waiting to die. So I took my dad's thermal while they're trying to listen and stuff like that. And then sure as shit, I see something big just sitting there, but I can see like movement, like if it's breathing. I was like, well, I'm going to guarantee you that's your deer. And we start walking up there. We get right next to this deer and it's not even moving and it's still breathing. And I'm like, well, everyone cover your fucking ears. So, and it was amazing because they said they were tracking for, I think they did an hour worth of tracking.
Yeah.
And then we found him within 20 minutes of actually being out there in the woods starting to track. Based with the help of this, because we were scanning areas, just doing 360s, and we couldn't find anything. And I was like, well, let me go just check over here. And sure as shit, like I said, I found him, and I just shaved so much time off of tracking. We were able to find this deer, and we were able to get him to the deer and able to officially put him down to harvest the deer. Imagine if you don't have that ability. I think that's the point of drones. It's to help recover animals, and it's a good thing. And I think, like you said, Squatch, there's people out there that could abuse it for the wrong reasons. And if you're able to put restrictions down and have people, I don't know, just off the top of my head, that they have to log certain shit or training, they have to get qualified. I don't fucking know.
Well, being that I used to fly model airplanes and stuff like that, and I had a drone, you have to register the drone with the FAA. And you have to have what they call air maps. It's an app for your phone because you can actually interfere with commercial flight if there's airports in your, area, your specific area where you're flying.
Yeah.
And you have to, before you take off, you have to actually, like, say I'm taking off, I'll be at this altitude, I'll be in this quadrant. Because if there is a collision or something like that, they know who to go look for. And they see it on their on their stuff, their sonar and stuff. The radar, but it's like I said, if you're gonna be something with drone recovery, just like a deer tracker has dogs, go make the person have to go get special training, make them have a license, make them follow all the rules of the FFA, make them call it in when they're starting the search, make them call it in when they're done with the search. And you know what? If you got a drone and you're flying around and you're using it like for being a shithead and trying to, just get up on deer and fool them, then you know what? That's it. Instant revocation of license for 10 years, put a 12 or something, $15,000 fine on it. And I guarantee you, first few idiots to do it, they won't do it no more. So.
Okay. Michael's back.
Oh, hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Michael. Yeah.
Doug, have you ever eaten? You ask it fucking again, Michael? I see your question 2 other times before. Doug, have you tried possum?
No.
Maybe he tried it. Maybe he tried it in the meantime since you asked him the last time.
No.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, nothing changed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fair. Never know when you got a possum strangling down through your freaking hallway and
yeah,
he's on your lap.
He could be the Flash and just went outside, killed one, and came back in and he ate it. Fuck, he could have gone and done that. We would have known. He's so fucking fast.
We've had guests that are so dedicated on the show, they'll just go outside and get one and actually try it right on the show. So.
Yeah. I guess Doug's not a dedicated guest then.
Oh.
Better man than me.
Well, he said in the comments his Wi-Fi is not that strong for him to go out and find a possum, so we'd lose him.
That's fair.
We lose them on the show.
Yeah, there's actually a storm rolling in, so I cut out. So I lost power.
We just had a storm Thursday and Friday, and it knocked people's power out fucking forever. I think people still don't have power.
Yeah.
There's a tornado in Battle Creek.
Oh,
I know
boy.
you guys don't know that, but for people that know, I'm in the Kalamazoo region, and Battle Creek's about 45 minutes to an hour away from us, and yeah,
I've heard of Battle Creek.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's where the not Fort Fuck, but Fort. I kept drawing a blank what the actual name is in Battle Creek. Military there. Anyways, Doug, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your story, man. To read the article about it and have you come on and share it, it's an amazing story. And it's hard to hear a lot of stories where a lot of people are actually looking out for the same deer, and it just turned out to be like you said, it's a ghost, and no one's seen it, and they want to get out there and get it. But it's all I've yet to hear someone actually shoot at a deer and it hit its antler. So,
Yeah,
that's the first for me.
That blew my. I thought it was like from fighting or something. I got gouged by another brow tiner, it's like a G2 or something. But he's like, no, I hit him in the head with an arrow. Shit.
I knew a guy. Quick story. I knew a guy that grazed one in the head. The deer went down. He's all happy as shit. Runs over there, rolls it over, sticks the knife in his freaking rib cage. Fucking deer jumps up, kicks the ever-loving shit out of him, and takes off running. And he's holding it by the rack, getting drugged through the freaking woods. What the fuck? He just realized the bullet grazed it, knocked it out for a second, you know?
Jesus.
True story. My freaking guy I grew up with, I work with him every day. His uncle had that happen.
You ever see those memes where a guy's actually fighting one of those deers and
they're kicking the crap out of him.
Kicking the shit out of him?
Yeah.
God, I don't know why, but I want that to happen to me. Like, just one day.
Absolutely. I want to be able to say I've lived that. I want to try it.
They're like, yeah, I fought a deer, motherfucker, and I won. I don't know. I think that'd be cool as shit. Doug, I got a couple rapid fire questions for you before we let you go. Okay, brother?
All right.
Besides hunting, do you have any other hobbies or interests?
I like to turn wrenches. I used to like fishing, but I kind of got out of fishing.
Yeah, I grew up fishing, and I just haven't had time to get out there and do fishing. I know Squatch loves to fish.
Yep.
I'm an outdoorsman, but Squatch makes me look like a fucking pussy, though. That dude's an outdoorsman for sure.
Come on, man. No, yeah. I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I got out fishing once so far, and every chance I get to where I want to go, something either happens. It's been windy and freaking nothing but rain here. If it's not raining, it's 30-mile-an-hour winds. I haven't got the chance to get out yet, and I've been turkey hunting. So, but I was glad I got a bird. I got a bird, so I'm happy, with that. So, hopefully now in the next week or two, I can get out and do some fishing.
I think we've had
birds are whooping my ass.
Oh, really?
They're tough this year.
I got 2 or 3 of my buddies a bird, and I can't get myself a bird, so I just suck apparently.
Well, it happens. So later, I tell everybody, got to get on the birds. You got to get them either the first day, the second day, maybe the third. You're lucky. After that, good luck. It's tough after that. Real tough. Oh.
What animal is on your bucket list to hunt?
Probably a moose.
Moose. I think you're the second person to ever say moose on this show. Yeah, second or third. No,
moose, elk, or mule deer. Those are the top 3. But moose has been the top one I've always wanted to shoot.
They're just so majestic.
Yeah.
God, they're like fucking amazing. What is an animal you want to try eating?
Shit.
I hope not legit shit.
No. It's definitely not going to be possum. Probably moose. I've never had moose.
Yeah, I'd like to try moose one day, actually. What has been your favorite state you've hunted? If you've hunted out of state? Kansas?
Kansas. Straight up Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I believe Kansas, that's not over the Tarl. You have to get points, though, correct?
So, I think you have to do like preference points, like a whole draw process. But since I'm here with the Army, I'm technically a resident. So I just had to take my orders to like Walmart or where the hell you get your license from. And I just give them my orders. Like, cool, you're a resident now. Here's your tags. Well, tag.
Okay.
But for mule deer, like rifle mule deer, you do have, even if you're a resident, you got to do a draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the top state you want to hunt?
Alaska.
Alaska?
Yeah.
That's a big one. We get that answer quite a bit, and I'm right there with you.
Mhm.
Or Montana. They're kind of iffy.
Yep.
Side by side.
Yep.
The last frontier, the big sky mountain.
Hmm.
2 questions last for you. If you could pick anybody, you can get a non-family member and a family member, either living or non-living, to go on a hunting trip with or share a campfire with one time, who would that be?
Probably my one grandpa who got me into hunting. He passed away 10, 15 years ago. And then probably my best friend Matt, who passed away 5, 6 years ago.
Sorry for your loss. Last question here. What do you think we as fellow hunters could or should do to improve the hunting community?
Probably be more respectful of the people you're hunting around. Stop dogging on people's harvests. Like Joe Schmo shot this nice spike horn. Don't talk shit about it. Or Jack over here shot a 220-inch deer. Don't talk shit about it. Don't say, oh, he spotlighted it, he baited it, yada, yada, whatever. Just be happy for someone for their harvest.
Well, Doug, I have to say your deer does not look like a 200-inch deer. So just gonna throw that out there.
Everybody's
No,
critic.
I agree, man. So we get that answer a lot. Like I agree with you completely. I think there's a difference between what we do on the show with hazing each other, and we haze with the guests, and we haze with the audience out there as well. But they know it's all in good fun. But there's also a point where you haze on people's harvest, like you said, and it casts a bad light on the hunting community as a whole. And I think that needs to stop. When we haze each other, that's just what brotherhood's all about.
Oh, absolutely.
And obviously, because being in the military, I'm sure you know that this is what you do. And in my opinion, that's how you bond with your brothers and sisters. That's how I bonded with my friends in the military, in the law enforcement world, and that's how you get to know each other. But you all know I have your back no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. Like me and my buddy, he says when I shot Jesus there, he's like, "Oh, that's a 20-inch deer. You're 8 points, a baby." It's just straight up hazing.
Yeah. What's going on with the fucking camera angles here?
I don't know, buddy. I just saw that myself.
I thought I broke it because I was so ugly.
No. The internet just said, "Hey, let's do this view." It's the Ghost Buck. He's wanting the podcast.
He's haunting this show. He turned
like,
into an actual ghost. Well, Doug, thank you so much for coming on the show. Squatch, first, how can people reach out to you and follow along your journey?
As always, you guys know you can find me here on Sundays and Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. on the Whitetail Advantage. You can also find me on the Boondocks Outdoors and with the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast, Frank Bastica, Mike Nitre, and all the guys with that crew. You can hit me up on Instagram, Outdoors and More with the Squatch. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Outdoors and More with the Squatch. Check it out. We released a turkey hunting video. It's pretty cool. The editing didn't come out too shabby for me. And I appreciate everybody always tuning in and listening to us. And thanks for watching, guys.
Doug, how can people follow along your journey?
Facebook, I guess.
All right, I like it. Well, Doug,
I'm not too internet savvy, so
it's all right.
Yeah, why?
Hey, you don't have to be. You shoot big deer. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
You just enjoy being out in the woods, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
Squatch, thank you for being the one teammate that actually come on the show.
No problem.
You're the only one that texts. Dave and Johnny, they don't like texting. You and I are always texting in the group chat, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. They say that I don't text, and then I'm a ghost. So
I got to say, Johnny did say earlier on in the day, and I only caught it between when I was doing that. He got called into work, so he wasn't sure if he was going to make it. And Dave had let you know a while back, but maybe you forgot that he had to take care of some family stuff.
Oh, I'm just giving shit. You guys text more than I do. I'm constantly busier than fuck.
Well,
I'm always looking at my Grindr account or my OnlyFans account for gay dudes and shit like that.
I'm telling you, Ginger Spice on Grindr. Look Brett up. It's badass. I mean, you'll see shit on there you never thought you could imagine.
I got all the moves, man. I got all the moves. You want to see some nice feet pic? I got some nice feet pic up there too, my brother.
I've been trying to get the wife to do whole feet pic things, like toes and shit, and make some extra money. She won't do it.
Yep.
People have that weird kink.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I'm like, people pay fucking $5,000 for a photo of feet.
Yeah, I could fund a hunting trip by selling feet pics, but she won't do it.
Yep.
Selfish.
Come on now. Selfish.
I know.
You think about
she's in the other room watching this. I might get beat.
Yeah.
Doug's wife. Come on, let's think about your husband first, okay? It helps him get a hunting trip to go get another ghost buck out of another state. Go. Just all it takes is one little photo. Click. There you go.
Exactly.
And your trip's funded. There and back, and everything included. So. Well, Doug, you know what? How about this? I'll take a feet picture and I'll create an account and I'll send you the funds for it. How about that?
Sold. It's done.
Squatch Doug, thank you for coming on for tonight's show. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your night, guys.
You too. Thank you.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, great guys right there. Well, everyone, that's going to conclude an episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. I want to say thank you to everyone that's gathered around the electronic campfire for tonight's show. Now, if this show made you laugh, made you think, give you a new perspective, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening to this on the audio version, please get to us that 5-star rating. Also, give us your feedback, what you like more, what you want less from the show. We also have a lot of things lined up, so make sure to check out our website, whitetailadvantage.com. If you want to be a guest on our live show or you want someone from the Whitetail Advantage team to be a guest on your next episode, send us a request through our social media, or you can set up a request through our website as well. Audio versions of our podcast gets released every Monday and Wednesday at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. I'd also like to take a second to say thank you to all companies that have partnered up here with us at Whitetail Advantage, XOP, Rec, Magnus, Bow Addicts. I greatly appreciate it. We also just teamed up with ScentLock, so I'm getting ready to set up that deal right now with them. Excited for that. Now, last but not least, put that core in the slot machine. We'll see everyone next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.